Hi, welcome back to the channel, TrainStation 2. Happy to get first in this mini event, Train Tycoon. Alright, now let's enter in the gameplay. First up, let's see what we get. Alright, not too bad. Got a rare train. It's better than common, of course, but nonetheless, I'm still missing that one legendary and one rare train in this Canada Region 5. But nonetheless, I'll keep trying until I get them. As I mentioned to many friends here, it's really important not to rush to level up, but rather focus on beefing up your capacity in terms of your trains as well as the type of trains, and of course if you could complete that collection in every single region. My biggest regret is really never have a chance to complete my collection in region 1 and 2. So I worked really hard in region 3, whereby I have the largest fleet. Likewise for region 4 and 5, I try my best to expand the fleet into even multiple duplicates and all very high capacity. That actually helps me along the way. It's like a compounding effect. When you get your competition, it's always with your trains from the current region as well as the previous region. So if you have a very strong region before you embark into the new region, you are all with a set with a very strong foundation, and whenever they ask for the previous region trains, you know that you're at the good hands of your old fleet. So it's really important, like I do mention, do not rush to level up, because region 1 and 2 are the most enjoyable of the all, to be frank with you, because they are really cheap to upgrade the trains. Things are really cheap, not that difficult. Whereas once you move on to region, I believe 3 and beyond, it's getting even harder when it's region 4 France, and now it's region 5 Canada. So it's really almost unimaginable to how much it costs in terms of parts and gold to upgrade one single train. So likewise, collecting of a gold, it must be a daily routine. Multiple trips needed, not just once, so that you can build up your gold reserves. Likewise, if you are still new to the game in region 1, congratulations. If you're watching this video at region 1, really congratulations, because that is the best region you can play with, and do not rush to level up. I just want to repeat again. What you should do, besides building your fleet types, i.e. your size as well as capacity, you should really work on your population. Embark immediately into the 5 building technique. Have 5 building layouts with a special building in the center. If you don't have one, doesn't matter, just have 5 building layout. Why? Because that allows you to have 4 upgrade requests at any one time. So if you happen to have that required upgrade materials or blue maps or whatever to upgrade, you are increasing your population gradually, and then you can build on to do your warehouse level up. So with a very good foundation of a strong population, i.e. warehouse space, everything was so much smoother along the game. I have the hardest time, that's why at my wit's end, I developed a new set of interim warehouse logic, which is using all the 6 core factories that I have, which I fully upgraded all of them using gems, because that acts as my additional warehouse spacing. It really need not resort to that last resort, because if you have a very strong warehouse, you don't need to be struggle like me, always trying to make use of all this interim warehousing via the 6 factories itself. So this is really a no choice situation, but also, I mean, that forces me to be creative in terms of warehousing space. Alright, as I said, the game developer is generous in sometimes in a certain way. They give you all the things you have unclaimed in terms of metal keys. So as you can see, I managed to claim a few metal keys there from the previous event, which I didn't manage to exchange all the event keys, because I think the minimum was 5, but I only got 4 of those event keys in Peru. So they're giving me a conversion to metal keys of the balance. Alright, so in this mini tycoon train tycoon event is really just fulfilling every single request, you can see here deliveries using certain type of trains or complete a task. So for me in playing this mini event is really to bin away those 3 stars items if possible, so that you can focus on the 1 and 2. 1 and 2 stars are the one that make you move really fast. If you have been focusing a lot on the 3 stars, then you're at the losing end. It's simple as that. So as I mentioned in my previous video, to prepare for this, you really got to pack your factories to the brim, because every now and then there will be factories requests, and of course with the increased capacity, it doesn't really help here because it's more towards the increase in terms of the fleet types, because you want to send the trains with the minimum capacity. It's opposite like what you used to do in any other events, because you want to fulfill number of trains that is sent out of a certain type like epic. So if you have 10 also called 100 of those inventory items, 100 cheese for example, and you're going to send the one that has 50 capacity, you're just sending 2 trains out. But if you send all those tiny ones like 6 capacity, you can send 10 over trains. So that's the difference, alright? So in playing this, it's a bit different from the normal events, so just got to play with some tricks. Alright, so if you could really, you got to collect all those stars from the factories. This is the easiest of all, so as to quickly get 1 or 2 stars out of it. Like I say, chemical and refinery, again, should you be doing up glue or even plastics? No, just go for gasoline, because that's the fastest to make, as well as the lowest number of fuel tanks required. So that's what you should do. It doesn't matter the output, because end of the day you just want to get it done and over with. You can bin away those gasoline if you do not require them anyways, so that will also help you to garner more warehouse spacing. Okay, so quite comfortable here, because as I mentioned, in any event, any competition, you just got to start very late. By starting really late, what's going to happen is that one whole group of very chilled competitors. So and anyways, in every single competition itself, there will always be 1 or 2 competitors that are extremely eager to try to climb to the top spot. So for this instance, like what I'm experiencing right now, there's definitely one player that's trying his or her best to climb to the top spot. But again, very unfortunate, because for me, I'm really prepared for this competition, so probably he did not do so. So that's the difference. And of course, sometimes it comes to the number of hours of gameplay. That's another one. And starting late is just one of the key to winning any competition. But of course, preparation in terms of making sure all your 6 factories have the maximum number of input and output trays all filled up, and also preparations in terms of keeping all the meta keys, keeping all the trains upgrades, unless really requested, do not upgrade them, keeping all the building upgrades likewise until they are requested. So do not just happily click on those when you think that you saw the tick on the building upgrade. Do not do so unless you're being requested to. So this is how you got to play this mini event. That's about all. I mean, generally it's just very short, like 1-2 days mini event. So next big event I believe is coming will be the airport event. This is a different event altogether. Unlike this mini event, there's another type of mini events, which is a collection of stamps. So let's see how it pans out. Okay, so when it comes, probably I'll explain a bit more. And of course, sea trade, yes, it's really important to do this ship trades in order to get those blue maps. Why so? Blue maps are required a lot in building request upgrades. So I always run short of blue maps. Nothing else, no other colors you'll run short is except only for blue maps. So I believe the coming this airport event is really good, because airport event actually gives you lots of opportunity to exchange for maps, and I'm going to grab all the blue maps whenever possible. And actually not so much about the container, the supreme container that gives you the one extremely good train. I'm not so eager for that actually, but I'm more eager to start off the airport event to get all the blue maps. But when that comes, I'll probably explain a bit more. At this juncture, it's very difficult to explain to you because without the visuals, what you're going to do right now really, sometimes when you have too many things in the warehouse, you just got to bin them. Do not worry the fact that you're spending so much resources and time to make them. It doesn't matter if you're a bit so worried about sacrificing all these items from the warehouse. You will not be moving because you'll be stuck. And of course, you need to free up the space so that you can grab the materials required by the ship trades. The key is really to get the good number of blue maps so as to increase population, increase warehouse spacing. So that's the key. You can see here I'm looking really towards the next upgrade, which is quite near to 8,000. I think it's 7950. So really got to work on that. Just want to fast forward a bit. Now currently I'm having a score of 145 stars, which I think is quite a comfortable lead. I'm not too concerned about losing the top spot anymore. Initially it was quite worrying because it was quite close, about maybe 10 or even 20 maximum of stars difference. But now I created like probably like 2 folds of what the second place has, so I'm not too really concerned about that. And very quickly, the mini event is coming to an end soon, and I'm just trying my best just to fulfill all the requests so that I could level up. Why do I ask you not to level up and I myself working towards level ups? Because there's a milestone item I want to hit, which is 240. That's how I could manage to produce the other item. And there's another milestone I need to hit, is 250 to unlock an additional dispatcher. Unless you have such eager need to increase your dispatcher, then of course you could. But again, got to bear in mind, unless you have good fleet size and a good capacity, then you move towards that direction. For me, I'm really lucky in this Canada. I've got almost all except 2 trains, so I'll say that it's almost complete. I can now move on quickly so as to get the additional dispatcher, which is definitely very useful for during the competition itself. Alright, so with now securing the first spot is no longer an issue. Why I'm so eager about getting the first spot is not just because of the legendary train parts, but rather I think it's the 1500 VP points that we have for the headquarters. Alright, coming to the end of this video soon. Thank you for watching, and let you enjoy the final moment with some excitement of cheer for the first place. Thank you.